Okay, so today, guys, we are back with part 2 of Mark reviewing my weekend at the Vic. First part, we played 1-3, didn't get into many all-in spots, but we were checking how we were doing in the small ones, and Mark thinks not too well. But he's back again. We're just continuing. But Mark, how you doing?
Oh, good, Nick. You?
Yeah, good, man. Tail between our legs, and we're at 1-2. Trying to recoup some losses. 500 cap. So let's see how it goes.
1,000 cap at... Was that 1,000 cap at 1-3?
1,000 cap, yeah. If you're enjoying the reviews with Mark, guys, do drop a like on the video. It really helps out. And subscribe to the channel for more in the future. We do have some more live reviews coming up. I went on to, obviously, to Vegas, and Ben is going to be reviewing every hand that I played in Vegas that isn't going to be on a vlog, if the vlog ever materializes. So do look forward to that as well. But for now, Mark, we're back in the mix with Ace Jack of Diamonds. Are you ready to go?
I am ready.
Let's do it. We are seeing a limp under the gun. Now, this was a late night game. In fact, this may have been me being... There were some people that I was there with, obviously, for the weekend. And I think this was the same evening of the 1-3 game. And I decided to call it a day because the game wasn't very good. And we went over to this game that was apparently super juicy because it had Mr. Late Night Whale sitting down at it. And he was something else. He was V-pipping 100%. One of those.
Okay.
And
you mean £12?
12? What do you mean? What's wrong with that? What is wrong with that?
I just make it 15 here, like.
Why?
Especially so if Late Night Whale has. So I'd make this 10 if like button and blinds were just relatively tight, normal human beings. When we got Late Night Whale in the pot and under the gun's limits, put more money in.
Right. Okay. Fine. We make it 12. Late Night Whale calls, and we're heads up. I need to remember the dynamics of this because they're super relevant and it's unfair to not give you them. But I was watching the hands, I wasn't in them. We flopped top pair, which against this guy is fucking gin. What would you like to bet?
£20.
About 15. That's too small.
Bigger.
Yeah, bigger's good. I like that.
On this board texture, we can bet bigger anyway, I think. So
we bet 15 and he puts in 50 quid.
It literally is going to depend, but if this guy's such a beluga, then just make it 150 and call it out.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all.
And we're not exactly thrilled. We're not like, oh yeah, top pair.
Yeah,
like, I know. Banging fucking 500 quid, but like it's just got to be done. Bang it in.
Yeah, I call, which is fine, but like I think your play is better. Our hand's vulnerable. And it's a late night whale, so
yeah, for sure.
King on the turn, kind of
instantly like shit. Now we're in a spot. Do you know what I mean? Like
100 quid.
Now we can't raise really either, so just have to call and then just close your eyes, click the call button, and throw in a chip on basically every river.
What about this one?
What do you mean?
And he bets 100. Now,
yeah, okay. Call and mock. Prices do good.
So
call him up.
Here's the thing. I had seen him play a few hands, and this is the info I was talking about. And on the river, he'd shown 2 hands where he had won, and he had a really good hand, and he was all in on the river. And then all of a sudden, he bet 100.
So, generally speaking, people will, like, fun players will a lot of the time bet the strength of their hand. Yeah. So we could be seeing something like Jack 8 here, or like 8-4 suited. You know,
that's very true.
Like,
yeah.
But I've also seen certain whales, like there was a guy who I played with as at Aspers who would bet the strength of his hand apart from when he bluffed. And when he bluffed, he would bet like literally a 10th pot. It was so weird. So he would just like, if he had like the nuts here, he'd go all in. If he had like, you know, 2 pair, he'd bet big. And then when he had bluffs, he'd just bet like 20 quid or something. It was so wild. And he just kept doing it. And I was like, is nobody else like paying attention?
You don't need to balance it live, mate.
Paying him off. It was so insane. There was a guy that was like, oh, I'm getting so unlucky. The guy goes all in. He's got like trips or something. And he's like, oh, I got so unlucky there. And I'm like, what planet are you on? Anyway, with this hand, just you're getting such a good price.
Yeah, call him up.
Literally call him up.
I tanked pretty hard.
8-4 suited. 8-4 clubs.
Okay, he's just playing the board.
What do you mean he's playing the board? It's fantastic. So another thing as well, I know we're not exactly like super thrilled to get it in for a 1K pot, like, you know, against flush draws or whatever, because you'd expect the flush draws to have overs as well. But like once he makes that, if we make that 150, he's probably all in.
Yeah, I agree. We could have got this in on the flop and I've got an extra 238. Or at least,
but yeah, here's case in point. So like when I say that, you know, somebody's like betting the strength of the hand, a lot of people like bluffing is basically an unnatural thing When you don't have a good hand, like flop and turn is fine because you can improve. On the river, bluffing is so unnatural because you've got nothing and you're putting lots of money in. So people don't want to do it. So when they're not really paying attention and actually like using logic to like, you know, and balancing and actually making good decisions, they're putting money in because they can't win otherwise, but they naturally don't want to put lots of money in. So they do something shit like bet 100. Yeah. And then you snap call and they show 3 high.
I did not snap call. I tank call.
You did not snap call?
No. I had a little interrogation, lifestyle interrogation, and then decided to call.
I literally I'm throwing in a chip just instantly in spots like this. But enough. Again, like, so I know that I've only started playing live again now, but I played a lot more live than you have live time. I obviously used to play live for a living. And just seeing this kind of shit, I know in this spot here, getting that price, I'm never folding. So I could sit there and think, you know, what do I beat or whatever, or I can agonize over it. But I know at the end of the day, I'm just like paying it off so often. So I just throw in the 100 muck, like expect to muck, to be honest. Expect to lose to, I don't know, like 8-4, like
just hold your cards next to the line, ready to flick.
Yeah, literally. And then when they say like 3 high, you go, oh, that's nice. Little juicer.
Anyway, we've got to crack on, mate, because we've got 7 more hands and there's some fucking juices in here, bro. I promise you. Let's go and take hand number 2. So this is one of the this is one of the juices I was talking about, guys. We have got some players on the table that we need to talk about before we start this hand. Right. We've got Sammy Any2, who is playing any 2 cards, and Splasher, who is his mate, who's about 6 pints deep, who's only looking at 1. Okay. Now for this hand, I believe he does look at his cards. They'd stopped doing, but they had been doing it for an hour, looking at 1 card or not looking at all. And someone else is involved with them on the table every now and again. They were loving it. But Sammy Any2 was also dreadful. And he'd also never played cash before, I don't think. So Sammy Any2 opens to 15. We are playing 1-2. There's no straddle, but this is the game. Are you comfortable with the dynamic?
Yep.
It folds to us.
When you say Sammy Any2 is playing Any2, are they V-pipping Any2 or are they PFRing Any2?
No, he's not. He's not PFRing Any2.
Okay, because that just obviously just makes the decision different. If he's raising every hand to 15, then I'm all in.
He's raising a good chunk to 15. Not all the cards, but he's not. You know, there's only so much I can say. I've been there for like 2 hours at this point. This is the next day.
I'm just making this 75.
Why have I done that?
Let's make it bigger.
I don't know why I've done that. But I think it's because it's 1-2 and I'm 3-betting to fucking 57. It's just so stupid. There's not even a straddle on.
I mean, I don't hate this as well because like Tens is kind of hand that'll play badly where we might have weird decisions. And so I don't know if keeping the pot a bit smaller is better. Yeah. Like when we're out of position in case we have to check fold on like Queen Jack 7. Yeah. Like I don't really know. Tens is a tough hand to play.
65 plus think, is just better though.
Yeah. And why 57? Just make it 60, you dick.
I always put the little dewies in. Cold call from Splasher.
Obviously.
Call from Sammy Any2. Okay. Flop. Now what? You know what I do, but you're allowed to have you're allowed your own opinion on this show.
£120.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. I check range, obviously, because I check range. And
I really don't like this hand to check. In fact, I don't hate it because the probably is going to blast in a 7 or a 9. This is a disastrous flop
for us. It's an absolute disastrous flop. Not for our hand, but in general, this is a terrible flop.
Yeah, but again, Nick, you're talking about a guy called Splasher and a guy called fucking Sammy Any2.
Yeah, so they're going to flick in some money, and then I get to
this is bad for our range. No. It doesn't matter what your range is. It matters what your cards are. Literally, against fish, they don't think in terms of range. They think in terms of the 2 cards they have in front of them and the 3 that are laid down on the fucking flop. Right. So don't worry about it. Just put money in when you've got good hands. This is a good hand. It wants protection. Bet 120. If Splasher calls, jam safe turns. Easy.
I am not allowed to bet this flop. Let me just say that.
Put me off, right? He's allowed to bet this flop.
Well, if I want to continue being backed, I'm not allowed to bet this flop. Splasher bet 75. And Sammy Any2 calls.
Perfect. All in.
See, it is perfect, isn't it? No, I know.
43, all in.
No, I know, but I'm saying this is why checking is so good.
Agreed. But also, when it goes check, check, and the turn comes the jack of spades, the king of spades, the queen of spades, the ace of spades, the ace of diamonds, the fucking 8 of diamonds, the 8 of spades, the 5 of spades, the 6 of spades, our hand is now basically fucking worthless, right?
Yeah. Anyway, you were talking about 543. Let me just get that in
Yeah,
there. Let me just get that in there. I knew I had to do
So
it.
I like checking to do this,
Oh,
right?
yeah, I'm not
because you
calling.
want to get it in as soon as possible.
I'm nearly 31. I'm not going to call.
But as in to get all the money in as soon as possible. Like, not because when you bet
Yeah,
120 and it goes call, you have to, like, you know, there's turns and rivers where you can be devalued.
Which
so
happens
this
more
is the
often.
ideal scenario. But the problem is, if they don't put money in on the flop, then you're fucked.
We'll get Splasher and Sammy Anytoo, so hopefully they would just do it. Anyway,
all right. Yeah.
Splasher enters a super dwell, like an Omega dwell. Sammy Anytoo looks thoroughly uninterested, which is really unhelpful because I'm pretty sure his friend noticed. Splasher is in the tank, like hugely in the tank, and I think it was probably approaching like the 2-minute mark where I thought maybe I'm not good here somehow.
How would you not be good?
He ends up like really aggressively throwing a massive pile of chips in, and Sammy Anytoo folds, and I say twice, and he goes, "Yeah, what have we got?" And I was like, "Got a pair." He's like, "Yeah, same." I was like, "Right, is it bigger than the board?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I've got queens." I was like, "Right, great."
So he's got what? Sorry,
he's got queens. So
what do you mean?
So we're running it twice. He doesn't know what I have. He just knows that I've got a pair. Queen 5, 4 king. Fuck off. He's got queens, and we lose. This is I just literally like sat down within an hour, and dusted off more than I dusted off the previous night at 1-3. What are your thoughts?
That's
about
not
this?
Fair.
I know it isn't, but this is
my life. You can't do
that,
Splasher. You're looking at fucking 6 pints deep. You're looking at one card for half the night, and then you just get queens versus tens.
Yeah,
blind on blind, mate. Yeah. Live poker's shit, mate.
It is
honestly.
bollocks, isn't it?
I feel for you. I'm tilted for you.
Oh, it must be bad, guys. If he's tilted for me. Anyway, what can you do, man? I think I played it good. You bet the flop,
I mean, I do like the check jam on the flop. Like, he's fucking tanking McQueen.
And I don't know, mate. I don't have a fucking.
Row up and stick it.
He said to me, he was like, even though he's 6 months after, he was like, I knew that you knew that we were fucking about a lot, and even though it looks like you've got kings and aces, I'm not going to fold because I just know that you know we're fucking about. So he's clearly capable of not fucking about, and then just decided not to fuck about this hand against me, and therefore I got fucked, basically.
What happens when you have king, queen of spades, jack, queen of spades, ace, queen of spades? Like, what else are you doing? You're doing the exact same thing.
Yeah,
like...
I know. Anyway, we lost a 1.3k pot mark at 1-2, which is just unfortunate. And we're going to
just unfortunate.
See if we can claw out of this even bigger hole that we've made for ourselves in the next hand. Let's go. Hole, and not a word. Pocket fives. And Lad opens to 10. There's no small blind, apparently. Shout out to my coder, by the way. Slick. Thanks, I really appreciate it, man.
that sounded so sarcastic.
No, he's a fucking
legend.
Small
blind. Yeah, nice one, Coder. Yeah.
He is a fucking legend. I just thought it was a good time it reminded me that the only reason that I can get to do this is because of him. So thank you very much, buddy. Yeah. So this guy, he knew who I was. So I've just called him Lad, just to remember, just so I can remind myself that who he was.
Yeah.
I call the button after cut-off calls. Not going to let you talk about this. And the big blind... Shout out to Slick, guys. Big blind calls 12. It's obviously 10. Just forget it. 9-9 deuce checks through to me, I believe. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm just betting this. I'm a bit more face-up kind of thing. I'm probably betting like 15 here. Maybe 20.
20?
Yeah, I don't mind this. It's kind of mainly just for protection, really. It's not really like super ideal, but like we can have some 9x, like got some strong draws and stuff. It's just, I think people will just, I don't think you're going to get check raise bluffed all that often. So, and even if they do, they're going to have like, 2 overs and a flush draw. They're going to have really good equity. So yeah, this seems good.
Lad calls and we go to a turn, which is a 3, and he checks.
Probably just checking back. So again, we kind of want to protect. It depends on what you think of villain as well. So like a hand like aces would be a pretty reasonable check call on the flop. But again, this is live poker and most people just aren't doing it. So I think he's going to have a lot of ace, king, ace, queens. Maybe some 9x to trap. Hands like pocket 9s or something, which is obviously pretty unlikely. I'm probably just checking back, even though obviously we aren't exactly thrilled at giving him a free card. If you think he's super sticky, then fair enough, betting again just to get value. But I'm probably just checking this one back.
I decided to go small and target ace highs.
Yeah, if you think he's calling with it, yeah, but
He calls. And the river is an ace, which is the worst
that's
card in
good.
the deck. He checks, and I just tap the table.
I mean, you could overbet jam here.
Really?
Like, no cap, you could jam because, like, if you're looking at bluffs, like, this is one of the worst hands you're going to have. And, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. If he's check calling his nut flush draws, which I like, he could potentially even check call other flush draws. He could even, like, check call, like, kings, jacks, queens. I don't think he's going to, but, like, I'm probably just checking here. And,
Yeah.
again, getting ready to mock. But I think there is argument to be made for
Yeah, I can see it. I can see
this combo to bluff because we'll have one of the worst pairs we're going to have. We block 4-5, not that it's much of a thing, but we block 4-5 of hearts, and we unblock flush draws, which I know we have a showdown against, but like we don't really want to bluff for something like queen jack of hearts kind of thing.
My problem is I think I bet bigger on the turn with nines. I'm not sure exactly with a 9. I'm not sure.
Yeah, probably.
I think
I don't really like
betting
betting the turn. I just don't like betting the turn.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Well, we did.
But it worked though. I mean, you got value from it, so
yeah, and we lost again.
Obviously.
Anyway, so maybe bluff the river, but probably okay, and maybe not bet the turn, but probably okay.
Probably not bluff the river, to be honest.
Yeah. You've just been saying miss all these spots, and then we get a reg, and you're like, "Yo, Lynn, I've got the worst hand I could have." Yeah, 3x pot. Like, all right, yeah, cool, nice one.
yeah.
3x pot. All right, of course you are, mate. Of course you are. Right, next hand. Right, 9-8 of clubs, and we've got a pretty good table at this point. No small blind again, but pretty good table. And cut off calls, button calls, and it goes to a flop of 8-8-3. What do you think, Mark?
I think that's a juicer. So I mean, you're checking, I would imagine.
You know, I am checking. You're allowed to say what you'd do, but I'm checking, obviously.
I don't know what I'd do here. I'd probably bet like 15.
It's fine. Checks to the button, checking. And it checks through. Oh, okay. That's why I bet, mate. This is why I bet, mate. This is why I bet.
No. Like, so I bet because I think that people are going to float a lot as well. So it's not just about, protecting our equity. It's not just about getting money in when we have a good hand. It's about that when we check, there are a lot of players that will just check back hands like queen jack with the queen of spades, but it wouldn't surprise me if they call that for like a relatively small size. So I think we can get value from hands we shouldn't be able to get value from that they check back anyway. So if you imagine that they're calling all of their overcards with a spade, but they're also checking back all their overcards with a spade, checking just allows them to just see a free turn card, which they pay for, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So why wouldn't you make them pay, kind of thing?
Well, the idea is to build a pot by check raising. That's always the idea.
I know, but then the thing is, on this board, like you're only really check raising 8x, aren't you? Like it's not. I get it on like different boards.
Do you think I care?
Like, all right, mate.
I don't care. It's mate. We're playing live. I'm just gonna put money in, aren't I?
Now you just let them hit a flush, Nick. Like, what are you playing at? Like,
what is this bet? I think I made guesses. All right.
Bet of £10.
Yeah.
I like it. Fine with it.
Call.
Obviously. 9 of spades.
3 clubs.
Ooh.
Decision point.
This is interesting. I want to check.
I wanted to check. I did check.
Yeah, I think I like checking or like 20.
Yeah, I think the ace 3 suited probably comes along on the turn.
Again, I think most of that type of hand bets the flop. It's like when you had the king 8 on the deuce 6.
So why would you check
on the deuce turn? Like those small pairs and stuff want protection, so they tend to bat. So I think ace 3 is going to bat the flop. So
maybe we should just bet then. He doesn't have any other 3s. Maybe we should just bet then. We doesn't have any other 3s.
Yeah, but like there's not really much to get called by. Like ace highs, like with the ace of spades. I just don't know. It's like a really weird spot. Like, but I'm probably just checking. You can allow random bluffs. That's the main reason to check.
Yeah, I agree. Check. 35. Fold.
I guess we just target a 3, or pocket 6s, which is probably unlikely.
It's impossible, surely.
But let's just make it 140 to go.
That's big. I thought that we might see a fold from a 3 for that much, but it's big enough. It's chunky.
I don't think you will. I don't think you'll see a fold.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this live player can fold a full house. If you hit yourself, mate.
Well, I'll make it 127, which is about
that's fine.
there
That's
thereabouts. And he does end up tank calling and bucking. Guess he had a 3.
Could have had a flush. Like
Maybe
genuinely could have had a flush.
Yeah, maybe he had a flush. But he did tank call, so I felt whenever they tank call and you've made it like as a big size and you're like, okay, I got the absolute. Oh, yeah, I probably got the max there.
You'd be surprised though, because they'd probably
yeah.
call 100 more. Like they're so inelastic to size, and honestly, Nick, that like it's not about like because they're not thinking about the price that they're getting, right? Because they're not thinking in terms of like strategy like that. They're not thinking about the price that they're getting or whatever.
Yeah,
they're just like, I don't know what goes through their heads. Like that's the thing. I don't know what they're actually like working out when they take 2 or 3 minutes to call. Like
they're just
because they can't be thinking about what bluff hands and what blockers and stuff like that. So I don't know what actually goes through their head. So you'd be surprised. I think you'd probably be able to get another 40 or 50 quid out of them.
Yeah.
But as long as we're not like clicking it, I think it's fine.
Yeah. Okay. We're okay with that hand then. Seems good.
Yeah, I'm okay with that hand.
Let's go and take another one. We've got a little hidden juicer in here somewhere. I'm not sure exactly when it's going to be. It might be at the end. Let's go and take a look. Well, it's not this one, but this is an interesting hand. And this is kind of like, well, let's not ruin anything. We open to 7 with ace 10 off. And
okay, are you always opening ace 10 off here?
I am I am, what are we, 600, 700? Yeah, 600, 700. I always will open this, yeah.
Okay. For me, it depends on the table. If this is like a solid table and it's like full ring, like I'm just not opening this. It's just not really that good a hand.
We're at the Vic, of course.
And especially if this happens as well. If 3 people are going to call, your hand's devalued. It's so shit multi-weight, this hand.
Yeah. 984. You excited? Right.
I assume it checks around when we see a turn.
It does. King of clubs.
I assume it checks around when we see a river.
This is akin to the King 8 of last time. We decided to go for 22.
You're 4-way, Nick.
I know I am, but
you're 4-way.
I understand the situation. King's good for my range, though, man. I got a lot of King X, bro. Anyway, it folds to the tight reg, who calls. Now, this player had been in. Okay, she checks. And this player had basically been. Every time someone had like called a river, she'd be like, "What are you calling for? Obviously they've got it. Obviously they've got it. It's live. Obviously they've got it." So I was like, "Well, I'm always gonna bluff here, aren't I?" I've got a 10.
110 pounds.
110.
110.
I just decided to need to pot it.
Let's go, Paula. And she calls with King Jack. Unlucky.
No, she folds a king face up. I like it. I'm a big fan.
There's no way. Have you run this hand with Ben?
Yeah, I can't remember what you said. It's 2 months ago.
There's no way.
But I've still got a backer.
Like that turn, but
no, this turn bet's out of line for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I like heads up 3-way maybe. Yeah, but like 4-way, you're against 6 other cards. Like it's likely someone's got a king. I like the river bluff. And the problem with the jack being that like they have some king jack. Like king jack's actually a big part of their range. Like what king X are they gonna have? You block king 10. King queen shouldn't fold either. But like, I mean, against someone tight, I'm probably going like 110 and just hoping they don't have king jack, because I think they'll fold everything that isn't king jack. I do think we need to bluff this river regardless, because, and especially against someone so tight, because they can have jack X of clubs. They could have 8X of clubs, 9X of clubs.
Yeah. So
the river is for sure a bluff. So the river play I like. I don't even like this pre-flop. I think probably folding. And when I said in the first video that we did about like sizing, like we made it 7 and we've gone 4-way. So like if I'm going to open these hands, I'm just going a little bit bigger. Maybe we go 4-way anyway, but I'm probably going 10. One, it's easier. It's easier to do. You can just flick in 2 chips. It's easier for the dealer, who apparently you fucking hate all of them. So, and then, it might dissuade people from calling. So
yeah. Anyway, we do get the fold.
That's really
I'm not shying away from anything. King 8, ace 10. Everyone gets to see everything. I want the regs at Aspers to watch it as well. All right, let's go and take another hand. Right, next time we got pocket jacks, and we see a straddle, I think, and I make it 16 with pocket jacks. Reloader. So reloader.
15. 50? Why
You
16?
need to make it a little bit bigger than 15, I think, because the extra blinds. This is for this guy. Just fuck off, all right? So reloader, she's just got stacked. This isn't tight reg. She's just gotten utterly stacked. She hasn't even got a chip stack yet. And this is the next hand, and she says call, but she's got no chips, so I have to give her the chips to call.
Okay.
And she calls, and Shadow calls. 7-5 deuce rainbow. 7-5 deuce two-tone mark. Check.
£30.
£26. Whatever. Seems okay.
Yep.
Reloader calls and undergun folds. The turn is the 4 of spades. Check.
This might sound daft, but all in.
Okay, that's fine. I don't mind it. No, that doesn't sound daft. I think I actually quite like it.
Yeah, all in.
Yeah, all in.
160. And then my ace queen suited, my ace 8 suited, my ace 9 suited, all in as well. My what else do I want to have here? Probably not hands like 6-7, maybe 5-6 all in.
Yeah, I like it. I like all in.
So I'd probably have different sizes. I'd probably have jams with like hands I really want to fold but still have equity, for example, certain flush draws. And then I would have some smaller bets with other bluffs and hands like aces, but a hand like jacks, no heart. I don't want to like give them a good price when our hand is unbelievably vulnerable. So I'm probably just banging this in for like 1.5x pot.
I like it a lot. I bet 50. Whatever.
I mean, this is kind of fine. Like the thing is, so either way, it makes the SPR weird. If we bet this, then they call the SPRs like 0.5 on the river.
Yeah.
If we bet smaller, we give them an insane price to draw with potentially overs and a flush draw. You know, we don't want to see a 3, a 6, an ace. Like there's just so many rivers that change the action, and it's hard to bet something on the turn that doesn't give them a good price or a weird stacked apart on the river. So I'm just literally just banging it in for like 160.
Yep. Well, she does it for me. Hold this for me.
Yeah, well, obviously calling and not being happy.
Calling and not being happy was what I did. No one's showing. Bing!
That's a juicer.
No.
I would be an absolute wonk.
Yeah, because I saw the jack and I went, tabled it, and she went, no good.
Mate, this is just, it's pissing me off now, Nick. It's just getting,
annoying.
Out of hand.
Doesn't even got any chips. I had to give her my chips. The chips that she bought had to go to me because
just ping that gut shot like it's nothing. Just like, yeah, here you go. Here you go, Nick. You are now drawing fucking dead.
Yeah. I thought it was good on the river. I was so excited to see that river. Anyway, that's the sick thing about live. They don't show you to the end, and then you just think you're good, and then you're just super not good.
Hey, I'm sorry. If I'm all in there and I get called with 6-3 suited, I table my hand because villain is probably drawing dead.
Yeah, it's so sick, isn't it? And then wasn't quick enough to before I showed my hand before she showed hers.
I just
egregious.
I hate live.
Yeah,
people,
it's fucking shit.
I just hate people.
People are arseholes, mate.
They're the worst.
People are a different word, but not that one that I'm going to say on YouTube. I need to reserve that for Twitch. Anyway, right. Let's go and we've got 2 more hands, one of which is fucking wild. And I've got no clue what to do, and I think you won't either, much like the end of the last one. But we've got one more little one before that, so let's go and look at that one. 10-9 of hearts, Mark. Under the gun. Am I allowed to open this or what?
It'll honestly depend on table. I'm going to assume you don't have any limps either,
no,
like regardless of table.
No.
Okay. I think that like I don't have limps either, but I think you could possibly have limps in certain scenarios, like in very specific dynamics. But it's probably easier just not doing it.
This is disgraceful, Nit. Your favorite kind of player.
My favorite, staying on the game.
Calls and small blind calls, and we go to 9-5-4. You know what I'm doing.
I mean, are you having bets here when you're sandwiched? Yeah.
I don't have any bets.
You don't have any bets?
No.
I can't imagine that the best strategy with your entire range in spots like this, when you are sandwiched between 2 players, is to not have any bets, especially when you're against a mega. I can't imagine that is the best strategy.
Okay.
So bet £10.
Well, obviously I check. But yeah, bet £10, fine, whatever. Meganit pots.
Nice. Well, we have one option and one option only. Fold.
See a turn which is the 2 of red. And we just now I've got to pay the down. I've got to call the turn. Exactly what I was thinking. 2/3.
Okay. At least you don't bet pot. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. Call one option only. Check.
Would you rate?
Fold. Okay, no. Check back. Let me guess. They have a fucking better hand. They have like tens or something.
They have a better hand. They have a better hand. Yeah.
Ace nine of diamonds. Oh my god, it makes me sick. Just fucking, what are you talking about? So, right, listen, ace nine suited, yeah, if they'd have checked back, I would have been fine with it, only because it's obviously a bet, but the problem is, when somebody is that nitty, I don't know if they're actually self-aware, right, that they're not nitty. It's not about blockers, it's about that if they have ace nine, they can't get you to call a worse hand. There's no way you're calling 10-9 on this river, right?
Yeah, no.
So I get it. Queens on the fucking other hand.
Yeah.
What do you mean check? Just no, I don't even want to. I don't want to berate live players too much because you might get somebody that's just coming down for like a good time.
No, this guy's a proper dickhead as well. You can go ahead. You lay on.
Oh really?
Yeah, lay on.
What a fucking stain then. But like, so when I play online and stuff, and people are playing 10 and L, it's mainly like the regs that are really nitty that are just like I don't get why they're nitty. It's just, it shows like a risk aversion. And I'm like, why are you playing a gambling game when you're so risk averse? It just, it doesn't sit well with me, right? There's no shot. I don't get it. I don't understand why you do it. Go and play chess, right? Like that. No. Like, if you're not gambling, like go and play like chess or something like that. I don't understand why you'd get into this game and be so risk averse. Like it's so weird. You need to just be a fucking adult about things. Now, if this is like, if this Meganet's like, a 60-year-old guy and he's maybe having a few drinks on a Saturday night and he's just like just chilling and stuff like that, I'd feel really bad about
this guy's always there
about berating somebody like that. But I just don't get it. Like, you've got pocket queens, like what do you mean? Just put some money in.
Yeah, look how much more he could have won if he'd 3-bet as well. And I mean, it's just disgusting.
Yeah, that's true. But the problem is as well, like if he does 3-bet and then you call flop and call turn, he probably has to check river anyway.
Yeah, but he gets more money.
He does get more money, but the thing is, when he bats flop and turn, you need to specifically have something like 10-9 suited to call flop and turn that's worse.
I mean, he probably finds a check somewhere, doesn't he? Anyway.
The thing is with 9-10, 9-10 is better than having jacks in this spot against a nit. It's actually better than having queens in this spot against a nit on flop and turn, because you have more direct outs against villain's range, which is just overpairs. Apparently just aces and maybe even kings, maybe not even kings.
Yeah, I don't know, mate. Last video I did with Carly, someone flatted the bottom with fucking kings. I had aces. Did you see this hand, by the way?
No, was it on part 2?
Yeah, you need to go and watch it, mate. He flats the bottom with kings. I've got aces. It comes ace king, and I don't stack him.
Oh my god.
The flop's not ace king. It comes ace brick king, and I don't stack him. It's infuriating. The only thing that got me through that was getting the bonus afterwards from the high hand. Right, last hand, Mark, and it is a fucking weird one. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm well excited.
Let's go. Ace deuce of diamonds, guys. Last hand. I promise this is a juicer. It's an interesting one, not necessarily a juicer. An interesting one. Tight reg limps. Mark.
I guess we can ISO. I'm not a fan of overlimping the hijack, but I don't hate overlimping this hand, especially if you think they're gonna have limp raises. Because a lot of the time when they'll have limp raises with ace king, aces or kings or queens or whatever, they'll just price you out anyway because they're so scared of seeing a flop. So I'm not really a huge fan of it in the hijack though, with so many plays left to act. So if we were cut off or button, I would definitely either ISO or overlimp. Here, I don't mind. I think I prefer to ISO to 10 or 12.
Just flick it in. Just flick it in.
Okay, but yeah, I don't hate this as a concept. Overlimping, I think it's fine with this type of hand.
With this type of hand, if I had like king queen of diamonds, always, obviously.
Yeah, for sure. It's got better playability that anyway. So
we go 5-way, which is ideal actually. Don't mind it at all.
We don't mind this.
5-8 queen. Slurp.
Drill it.
Check 10.
I think only one option, which is call against some of this. Is this the same type reg in the?
Yes, this is the king fold. Very important.
Okay,
remember that. Same person was saying like, "Oh, obviously he's got it. What are you waiting most of my time for?" Stuff. Like
Yeah. I think probably just calling because we actually want to let other people in the pot with this hand.
Yeah.
I don't hate raising with the intention of literally just blasting off. But I think I prefer to have something like ace five of clubs to blast off.
Right.
So I think just calling. But there is argument for just literally just seeing this person and being like, okay, I'm going to get to the river and then I'm going to make them fold on the river. And if they have pocket queens, good luck to them.
Cool.
Yeah, I think it's the best.
All in for 105.
Okay.
Fold. Cool. So we're 700 deep to start this hand.
Drill it.
Drill what? What do you want me to do?
I would like you to call.
Okay. Any
I would like to
merit to
drill.
doing anything else?
No, because we should probably overcall our entire range, I think. So like eights, fives, queen. Like I don't think we want to have many raises here, with the exception of queen eight suited. There's not many hands that we want to just bang in here. So I'm probably just calling basically my entire range. So that includes nut flush draws as well.
How badly do we want to see a blue card here?
We're going to see it. I know we're going to see it.
We call. 4 of black.
Ooh.
Check.
Okay. I think we just have to, obviously it's dry side pot. So we kind of want to get more money in there. No, we don't. We just have to check. And it's so annoying because we're kind of playing face up and stuff when we drill the river against a tight reg. But like there is 0 to win. Like if the river bricks, like we lose to the button unless the button like has something like 10 jack or like worse diamonds, which is possible. But like we're not the EV in betting to get them out of the pot potentially or to build the pot. It's just not worth it. I think we just have to check.
I agree with you.
And cross your fingers.
Blue, yes.
That is the nuts. I thought it was gonna be like, I don't know, like the 4 of diamonds or the queen of diamonds.
No, this one's clean. So. This one's clean. Nothing else has been, to be honest. Anything else been clean in this whole video? No,
not really.
Tight reg checks, and what the fuck do you do into a dry side pot?
What do we do here?
Have you ever been in this spot before? I've never been in this spot in my life.
I would have been, yeah. I've definitely been in spots like this.
What do you bet though when it's dry? I don't know what to do. I literally sat there for ages. I was like, I don't know what to do. I was like you in that hand last episode. I was like, I don't want to make a decision. Just don't know what to do. But I've got the nuts.
As long as we don't check, we're not going wrong.
I do not check.
Honestly, against a tight rag, I'm probably betting 80.
80?
80. 80. The pot is 0.
Yeah.
So 80. Obviously, it's not 0, but like, so.
It's so weird.
Or just bang in fucking pot. Or just bang in 325 and just pray they have Queen X of diamonds. Because if you bet 18,
so
just
if I pot, honestly, I honestly think that she might even consider folding a flush. Okay,
so either 80 or 275, in my opinion. I don't really like middling bets because I think that their sets want to just like rejam the flop or like whatever. So we're looking at like ace queen, which might even fold anyway. Like maybe queen 10. I just don't know, to be honest. It's so weird. So
it's weird, isn't it?
But I literally don't mind going 275 and just hoping they have a flush, even though it's so obvious what we have, or just betting like 75, and then we can be balanced anyway if we bet that kind of size. So
I'm on your train, but I don't think I was concerned that this player would not pay me with a flush for 275 plus. So I decided to go big, but not that big.
Yeah, but like. I mean, the reason why I'd go bigger is just because I'm specifically targeting flushes with a big bet. And it's the best hand to do it with, ace deuce, because obviously we unblock like queen X, king X, even jack X of diamond. So, yeah, I'm probably just going. I mean, yeah, because they are so tight. Like, yeah, I guess this is fine. Maybe 250 though.
Who the fuck knows?
Even tight players like that. Again, it's kind of like entitlement. Even if they think they're not good. Like it's different when they have top pair and they fold top pair because it's a pair, but when they have a flush is a good hand, you know? So like, I think that they are a bit more entitled, even if they don't think they have the best hand, so they're more likely to call. So, but yeah, this is okay, I guess.
She goes into an Omega tank. We're talking good 4 or 5 minutes. This one, I'm just sitting there with the nuts thinking of Vegas and the fucking Mirage. And she finally comes out with the sighest of calls. And I say nuts, and she starts getting super mad at herself. She's like, I just never should have called this hand. Oh, blah, blah, blah. She had a flush. I was like, I literally said to her, "You've got to flush." Like, what do you mean? Although
She should fold though.
she
Like,
should
she should
probably
literally
fold.
Like, it's annoying because obviously if you don't know your opponents and stuff like that, but like, we are not bluffing because
No.
we are not stupid, right? We are not
Right.
going to bluff here. The only, I mean, could we bluff? I'm trying to think if there's ever any merit to turn something daft like 10 jack into a bluff in the hope that they
How do I
fold
not have
something.
10 jack?
No, there's just not. There's no
not.
shot.
No,
Like,
there's not. Yeah, so she should be. I was like, come on, you've got a flush. Don't feel too bad about it. And she just couldn't get over it at all. I was like,
I
fucking
mean, rightly so if you ask me. What did Button have out of interest? Do they show?
I think it doesn't show here, but I'm pretty sure they had Queen 8.
Oh, okay.
Reasonable. So a little juicer to end things off.
Little juicer, yeah.
But a super weird spot because I think 80 is a good. Your instinct was probably best because that way I can get called by a lot more stuff and not risk having them fold this.
The thing is though, like, I think they might just. I don't think they have sets, right? I don't think they have sets a lot. I'm actually surprised to see Jack 9 of diamonds, by the way. I was expecting. That's actually really bad on the flop from a tight player as well. I was expecting to see King Queen, Queen X of diamonds, especially. Like,
yeah.
I guess you got the gutter with Jack 9 actually. So
yeah.
But yeah, so I honestly think though, think about it. If they're taking that long with a flush for 215, I don't think they have sets often enough because I think that when tight players are so like they want to protect their equity, they're so scared of losing that they'll just rejam. If they have 8s or 5s there, they will literally click it back on the flop. Yeah. So I don't think they have sets. So what can they have on that river? It's going to be flushes and maybe straights, but they probably lead the turn with a straight because they'll be scared of a flush. So honestly, on the river, I think they end up being pretty capped to flushes. So I think the betting small is actually pretty shit. I think betting bigger, like your size is probably fine. Okay. I'd go 250 is probably what I'd bet.
Yeah, I think that's fair. But my sizing seems, I mean, as good as any. Who the fuck knows?
My guess is that she would do the exact same thing, by the way. And just if you bet 215, if you bet 180, if you bet 275, my guess is they will tank, not be able to fold a flush, even though they don't actually credibly beat anything.
She claimed that she wouldn't have called
she
claimed she wouldn't have called another penny, but who knows?
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah,
oh,
215 was the absolute limit.
216 should have been out. But that's it, Mark. We've got to wrap up because we don't want this to be too long. I mean, your face has been on my channel too long as it is.
Far too much, mate. Yeah.
But let's go and do an outro now, and you can just lay into me if you like.
Give you shit.
Yeah. All right, let's go and do that now. All right, Mark, off you go.
What would you like me to do? Just berate you?
Yeah, just fucking give it to me, mate.
I think that you play well overall. You know, I'm just not a fan of like. So you'll play obviously very close to theory or like as close as you can to it or what you think is best most of the time. I'm kind of different. My experience with poker was coming through low stakes MTTs and live poker. So I've always been one to exploit and just kind of disregard theory if I think there's like a better, spot for it. I think that's what live poker is mainly. But in saying that, most of the hands where you lose, it's just, there's not really that much you can do. Like the fact that you're losing a lot is just, I'm pretty sure it's just variance. I mean, you've seen some of these players and what they do and stuff like that. I think some of your sizes aren't great and stuff, but
yeah,
that'll come more with, experience and stuff. The more you play, the more comfortable you'll get and shit like that. So yeah, there's some really interesting spots. Even some of the smaller ones are really interesting to go through when you're looking at different player types and different dynamics and stuff like that. I think these videos are good just to talk about that for those that want to play live poker or are playing live poker, for those, that want to try and understand what you can do against certain opponents and, how you should basically exploit people and shit like that. So
yeah, I mean, so
it was a fun ride.
I wasn't all in, like I was all in like what the 10s I was all in obviously, but I was all in once over the weekend. But like anyone, this is the reality of live poker. It's like take a 400 hand sample at best from your most recent Zoom session to see how many interesting hands you get. There's not going to be that many. So
agreed.
This is the reality of live poker, which is why it's important to look at, and especially when over this weekend I lost like 900 quid. Like that's not an insignificant amount of money. I need to check whether whether I should have lost 900
whether you
or not.
Punted it off, like with the King 8. Yeah,
exactly.
Like
so we can
even me.
this.
So I've locked up like 28 hours so far living in London in live poker, 28 and a half hours according to my tracker.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've been all in. I don't think I've been I've probably been in an all-in situation where somebody's like been covered. I've not been all in for my tournament life.
Tournament
Not
life.
tournament life.
Yeah,
Sorry.
tournament life. Go to bed.
It's too early still. So I've not been all in for like my full stack. Obviously, I buy in for most of the time the max.
Yeah.
Or I play 2-5. I bought in for a grand.
Is it 2.5K
but I'll
cap?
always
Like 2.5.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
So
but the game wasn't really that good, and the
Yeah.
like maximum start there was like 1 point. Plus, I don't really want to lose a 5K pot. Like I'm
No,
angry
mate,
enough as it is.
I
Like,
know. I know.
but yeah, so like it's most of the situations are going to be these value bets, and it's a good example is like, you know, using this hand with the flush, the last one, the ace deuce of diamonds. Like when you think that, you know, obviously it took me a while to get there and think actually they probably just have a lot of flushes. If we'd have bet 75 or 80, they're probably just going to call, and we've potentially missed out on like 150 pounds, like 75 big blinds, right? Like maybe even more. Let's say that, you know, we wanted to bet theoretically or whatever. They're probably just going to check call like all their flushes, right? They're probably not even going to check raise a second nut flush. So like betting small doesn't really achieve a lot. We can miss out on 100 big blinds in one hand. When you're playing like however little hands an hour, that's fucking huge, man. Like you need to be getting the max value effectively from the weaker players when you hit these hands. Because, you know, I played 28 hours. I've not been all in. I've not had a hand to be all in with. Like I've not had a scenario either in my favor or somebody else's favor. Like it's just not going to happen.
If that does happen, they're often a lot less interesting as well, because you're like, yeah, I'm all in. Obviously, I've got
it's like nuts versus second nuts, aces versus kings, like whatever. Like that's about it. So
as you like to say, this is the reality of live poker.
Literally, this is the reality. Do not live poker. Do not start playing live poker.
All right, mate. Well, thanks a lot for this. I really appreciate your input. Obviously, value your opinion most of the time, if not all the time. And yeah, maybe we'll do something on your channel soon, because I've milked you dry.
Well, you said that last fucking August, Nick. But you know, I'm still waiting. But yeah, sure.
I knew that was coming. That's why I did it. All right, mate. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it, guys. If you've enjoyed it, do drop a like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Hopefully, there'll be a vlog coming soon. Who knows? All the best. Take care.